I am a member of an unemployable generation. In 2009, I finished near the top of my class, had flawless teacher recommendations, and a killer design portfolio. I was set for a career in the growing green building industry. I handcrafted over 100 emails and cover letters to the top architecture firms across the US and lovingly sent them out and just waited for those offer letters to roll on in. And then nothing happened. I didn't get a single call or interview. I barely even got rejection emails. And it turns out my education was so far behind advancing industry trends that I now lacked the real-world green project experience that employers were looking for. And as a single, jobless young man living in his parents' basement, it also significantly affected my dating life. But relational ineptitude aside, you would think with the growth of the green building industry, there'd be jobs out there, and there most definitely are. But the problem is that our education system is not adequately preparing this generation to fill those careers. So there I was, saddled with a $50,000 tuition bill, experience gap all over my resume, and silence on the job front. And I was left wondering what this function of college was. I'd spent so much time and money, and yet here I was, with all my peers surrounding me, drowning in our debt without too many career opportunities. I was told that college was that path, that road to prosperity, and yet here we were. And don't get me wrong, I loved my undergraduate experience. I attended a college paradise in the cornfields of Ohio called Miami University. And during that experience, it was a magical place where I learned to grow, to expand my mind, and to be challenged in an academic setting. It was an incredible 4 years. It was a special place where I learned to love, albeit poorly. And in the process, had a really damn good time with building a network and friends that I still cherish today. And perhaps that is the function of what a four-year degree could possibly be, to build that foundation, to develop that network, and then stumble ungracefully into the real world. But the problem is, it's a very expensive path. The average college tuition debt today in 2012 is up to $27,000. It's a 58% increase over the last 8 years. It's unsustainable. So what I spent the last 3 years of my life doing is figuring out a way to enhance the college degree, to add to it, to allow for degrees to become more responsive to market trends, as well as using this experience gap that we all face and leveraging it to fill it, as well as do community good at the same time. So back to my story. I left Mother Gring's basement and headed west to Boulder, Colorado, and it was there that I got a job with Habitat for Humanity. They're a local affordable housing builder. And during that year, I got a chance to work on a green home and get that initial green experience. And over those first few months of working there, I noticed two major issues with the green building industry. One was obviously this lack of project experience, this lack of opportunities for young professionals to get access and learn on these types of projects. And two, now working for a builder, I noticed a lack of funding and support available to help these builders make the transition to green and to build better housing. And with these, I realized that these two problems were in fact a solution for one another. Their symbiotic relationship met each other's needs. So I decided to build a concept around it. And basically what it is you take a community project, like a Habitat for Humanity home. You pull out all the teaching moments that exist and build a curriculum. And then partner with schools and programs to help find these students that need this initial experience, while also driving funding and support to the affordable housing builder to help them bridge that gap. It's a concept I'm calling community hacking. Now, you might be familiar with the traditional version of a hack. It's where you get a bunch of nerds, throw them in a computer lab, pump them full of Red Bull and pizza, and they emerge 2 days later with the newest iPhone app. It's what technology companies use, like Facebook and Google. The Facebook like button came out of a hackathon a few years ago. And they use these technology companies use this concept to really deliver accelerated innovation, to tackle problems internally at the companies, while teaching a skill set to their new employees. So what we're doing is taking this initial concept, this concept of hacking, and applying it to the building industry, to use this model of accelerated innovation to deliver sustainability to those who need it the most, while also helping train this next generation of green professionals. So what we did, this was a home that we built with Flatirons Habitat for Humanity in 2010. It was just up the road in North Boulder. It was an incredible green home. And what we did is we hacked it. We opened up all parts of this project and used it as a teaching model to help these students grow and learn and become more marketable to employers. So we got them out there doing the solar calculations, determining how many kilowatt hours we need on the roof to offset the energy loads in the house. We got them out there doing the materials research, determining what types of products we should put in this home. What's going to be better for the family versus that of the environment. They did the documentation. They determined the transportation routes that were near the home so the homeowner could not use a car but use public transportation, reduce those CO2 emissions. We got out there swinging the hammer as well, installing landscaping, putting the 2x4s up, and really getting a holistic look at what a project actually takes to go green. And what they emerged with at the end of this program is what's called a LEED accreditation. And a LEED AP is a way to, is a standard used by the industry to recognize green builders. It's a stamp of approval. It's a third-party verification, very marketable these days in the building industry. And essentially what it does is it offers a way to embellish someone's career, embellish someone's degree, and it's an awesome credential that people are using to become more competitive in the job market. It's a credential that 71% of decision makers says increases competitiveness in job candidates. That same credential is used by hiring decision makers to accelerate the onboarding process to careers because these types of folks contribute more quickly. And it's part of this bigger movement that was completely unbeknownst to me at the time as we were building this program in education called badging, which is a way to recognize hard skill sets in addition to college degrees, a way to offer a very tangible knowledge base or skill set that an employer can seek out and also offer some distinguishing factors because a degree does look great on the wall, but doesn't actually articulate what you are good at as a professional. And this type of system of bringing in extra certifications, extra certificates, is a way to embellish. So that was back in 2010. Accelerated now forward to 2013, and I am the CEO of Bold. And we are an experiential education company based in Denver, seeking to make green building available and accessible to all. By the end of this year, we have trained over 1,000 young professionals in these green building methodologies while supporting 200 low-income housing developments across 20 different states. But what makes this, and it's been awesome, being able to take this issue that so plagued me upon graduation and leverage it to do good and also help my peers bridge this experience gap. But what gets my team out of the bed every morning and gets us so excited is the impact that we're ultimately having on communities. So remember that home that we built in Boulder in 2010? Not only was it a classroom for 15 local students across all different disciplines, but it's also a home for a family. This is a home for the Lucanis. They lived up the canyon in Boulder in a leaky house that cost them $300 during the wintertime to keep warm, a month. They now live in this LEED-certified platinum house that is saving them money that will change their lives, allow them to invest in education, invest in health. The average home that we build in partnership with these Habitat affiliates is saving families $50,000 over the life of their mortgage and just reduced utility costs. It's a number so big, it takes 2 different slides to fill it up. So if these 3 years have taught me anything, I began my career pretty down, pretty discouraged at the lack of opportunities that were ahead. But I can confidently say now that I'm excited. I'm excited for us, this unemployable generation, at what the future truly holds. And I'm enthused because I finally see college education, higher education, recognizing and being more attuned to the community that surrounds it, that is leveraging and figuring out that it doesn't take the finest facilities or the newest rock climbing wall to enrich students. And many are looking outside of their classrooms and into the community to leverage impact and address some of those education issues, such as the one that we've addressed here today. I'm also enthused because education is still remaining steep in those incredible traditions and those incredible learning methods, but is looking outward and understanding that the world is a changing place and building programs that respond reactively to market trends and keep students on that cutting edge to ensure that when they exit school, they will get a job and be able to contribute to society immediately. And I think collectively, as we continue building up this new education system, I encourage you as students, as educators, to understand that education can happen outside these 4 walls, to look outside the box of your university, seek out those problems, those issues, hack them open, learn from them, teach others, and drive impact. And I think collectively, as we, this unemployable generation, continue leveraging our education to do good in communities, we'll finally build that just, sustainable world that we all so desire. and perhaps in the process, help guys like me find a date or a few. Thank you.